please, okay? So you can deny or whatever. Okay, Marilyn Manson, is he your friend?
We've hung out a couple of times.
A question, does he wear his makeup when you're hanging out?
Yeah.
He does?
I don't know. He's always
you don't want to say to Marilyn, wipe it off?
Not full makeup. He always has a little something on.
My feelings towards this next performer are complicated. Both of us know the responsibility that comes when you're a role model to millions of young women around the world. She's taught lots of them the freedom to follow their own style, not wear bras and wear ties with their t-shirts. I like that though, that's good. I've taught them that antisocial behavior can be a social thing. Both of us understand that style should be an individual sport. In the end, we have more in common than one might think. And now that she's of age, we might become the most successful duet act since Jim and Tammy Baker. So to sing Nobody's Home from her album Under My Skin, please welcome my personal favorite Canadian import, Avril Lavigne.
And another song, video, whatever, is Marilyn Manson, The Beautiful People, for you guys to check out.
I think this was actually Pink's bus and Marilyn Manson's bus as well.
Yesterday it said that I was dating Avril Lavigne, and I'm like, what the f is that? She's Canadian, I wouldn't do that. No offense to Canada, but I know her. I shaved her head. But yeah, you know, you never know where these stories come from. Sometimes they have some sort of valid truth to them. Did I Avril Lavigne? Who knows? I can't remember. Chances are no. Sorry, Avril. No, you know, just rumors, stories. I'm used to them.
The album's coming out this summer.
This summer.
Mm-hmm. And one of my other favorite songs on the record is called Bad Girl, and it's a heavier song, and Marilyn Manson's singing on it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, cool.
Avril Lavigne, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much.
You collaborate with Marilyn Manson. Talk about that song. How did that even happen?
Well, I wrote this song called Bad Girl, and it's heavier and it's darker. It's a little promiscuous. And I was listening to the track, and I thought Manson's voice would sound really good with it. So I called him up, and he came to the studio that night, and he laid down some vocals, and it's a song. I really love the song.
I cannot wait to hear it. Now, is it true that Marilyn was the one who convinced you to shave your head last year?
Well, I was, yeah, he shaved my head.
And you look fantastic, by the way.
I always wanted to do it, and it was awesome because I hardly had to do anything to my hair. And then when I got engaged, I was like, oh, I better grow it out, you know, right? But it was fun. I might do it again.
How was it working with Marilyn Manson?
It was
that
cool.
Amazing? Yeah.
It was like last minute. I was in the studio. It was like midnight, and I was listening to my song Bad Girl, and I was sitting there at the board thinking, Manson would be perfect on this track. So I texted him, and he's like, yeah, I'll come over and I'll hear it. So he came in, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Really?
4:30 in the morning. Yes, it was one of those nights.
Is it true that Marilyn Manson shaved the side of your head?
Mm-hmm.
Did I hear that correctly?
Mm-hmm. I had wanted to shave the side of my head for quite some time.
Yeah.
And I used to just like put it in a braid there, and like, so it was kind of like shaving it, like it wasn't there. And then one night, it was on my adventure to France, during my adventure out there when I was living there. And yeah, I just said, I was like, we were hanging out backstage and we were with his band and stuff, had a few drinks, and I was like, let's shave my head. I'm ready. Let's do this.
One of the songs I have to ask about, and which I'll make my last question, is just about the song with Marilyn Manson. You've said that it exists. I can't wait to hear it, but how does it happen that Avril Lavigne and Marilyn Manson end up working on a song together?
Manson and I met when I was 18. I went to one of his shows, and then we hung out backstage, and then we were like friendly over the years. And then I wrote this song called Bad Girl, and it's like darker and heavier. It's like one of the rock tunes on the record. So I called him up, and I was like, yo, come over to the studio, hear this song. I'd love for you to be on it. So he came over like 4 o'clock in the morning, and he heard it, he liked it, so he put vocals down on it and just took it to the next level, and it's so cool to have him be a part of the album.
How is Marilyn Manson like in person, just like working with him, and is he intense in the studio? Is he relaxed? Like what is he like?
I like him. We've always gotten along really well. I think he's cool. Like, he's deep, he's creative, like, he's mysterious. I think he's extremely artistic, and I respect his art.
Manson, he's very creative, he's very strong, he's very smart. I respect him. I love his art, I love his music. And when I called him up to ask him to come by the studio to hear the song that I wrote, he came by and he heard it and he played me some of the stuff that he was doing, which I loved. It was a very natural process. He heard the song and then he went into the recording booth and he sang and he just took the song to the next level. So the track is called Bad Girl, and it's definitely one of my favorites.
First of all, my favorite song, Bad Girl's a pretty dope song.
Thank you. I love that song too. It's the rock tune on the record with Marilyn Manson, and a lot of people have been bringing this song up as their favorite song. Like, the fans have been like, "Oh, we love this song," and I'm like, "Good," because that's like one of my favorites too. Like, I know Kiss FM's not gonna play it, but like, seriously.
What was it like working with Marilyn Manson? Did you do? I love the distortion you did on your voice too. It sounds like.
Yeah, I put an effect on the vocal. Like, we took a mic and I sang it not in the vocal booth, but like in the control room, and had it be really distorted so that it sounded live. And I haven't done that on any of the other tracks before, so it was like super distorted and just kind of like wanted to sound like a live concert. And then I texted Manson at midnight, asked him if he would come by the studio to hear the song because it made me think about him, and I thought he would be perfect for the track. And he was like, "Yeah, okay, cool, I'll be there like 4." And I'm like, "Okay."
4 a.m.?
Yep, 4 a.m. Shows up 4:30 a.m. And he was such a pro, you know, like, he listened to the tune, he loved it. I played him some of the other stuff, like Give You What You Like and songs like that, and he was into it. And so he just went into the booth and he put pillows down. He wanted to like sing laying down, and I sat in there with him, and he just came up with his parts right on the spot, nailed it, and yeah, I have mad respect for him. I love his art.
Have you met him before?
I met him when I was 18 in Toronto at one of his shows. I went backstage, met him, hung out for a bit, had fun. He painted my nails.
Your toenails?
I love that guy. Every time I go to a show, like, he either puts makeup on my face or does my nails, and we like have a good time.
That's dope.
So Marilyn Manson's on this, right?
Yeah. I met Manson when I was 18 as well, at his show in Toronto.
Sounds like you met a lot of people when you were 18.
In Toronto again. Yeah. And so that was a pretty cool night because I went to his concert and I was like, oh, okay, cool, this is awesome. And then met him, went backstage, and I ended up on his tour bus, and we were playing in his like makeup kit. I mean, he's very creative, and he obviously wears makeup. He's an artist.
Did he do your makeup for you that night?
He did. He painted my nails, and he's the one who shaved my head, like in France 10 years later, shaved the side of my head. So anytime I'm with him, we always have fun with makeup or whatever.
Is that when you lived in France? Last time you were here, you said you had just came back from living in France, right?
Yeah, so when I was living in France, he had a show, and I went and hung out with him, and we played with his makeup kit again, and he shaved the side of my head, so we always
Is this code for something else? I mean, he played with my makeup, and then he did my nails, and then she also has a song called Hello Kitty. There's a song. So there's a double entendre there, if you can catch it, if you can catch my drift.
Yes, it is about pussy.
Thank you. Okay. Well, now that we've cleared that up, you can go get Avril's new CD. It's called Avril Lavigne. It's in stores now.
Bye.